I think when I come back to you, I wanted to begin a video featuring Roly Poly Fat Boy Martin. And Roly Poly Fat Boy, he's mad. He's big mad, as always, because he thinks everything is racist and everything is, and again, he sells people on that point. That's what he's looking to sell. And again, that's how he makes his money, by convincing people of that, getting people all worked up and all mad. And unfortunately, man, that creates a demographic of people that believe that, they can't get ahead. They can't get ahead of it because a white man is holding them down. And again, man, it's not even close to being true. As a matter of fact, Roland Martin helped us says that, we need DEI in this country, and companies, they got to have DEI and everything else. And if they don't, they racist. We need to prop black people up. And if there's not enough black people in certain positions, it's because of race, of racism. And again, that's not true. That's kind of a lazy way of looking at things. Because again, the reason why there aren't so many black people in certain positions is because they've been told, look, man, you can't do it. You can't get ahead in this country because you're black. So they don't even try. And again, there's a very big and real effect when you tell people they can't do something. They can't do it because, again, it's going to be 10 times as hard for them to do it. They don't do it. They just don't do it. And so Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, as a college dropout, goes on to college campuses and debates with these kids. And these brainwashed kids, no, they are not intellectuals. They're brainwashed. And the reason why, I say that is because, again, they believe that girls could be boys and boys could be girls. And the biggest threat to this country internally is white people, white supremacy. Again, this ain't close to being true. White people will bend over backwards to accommodate everyone. As a matter of fact, when we have DEI and affirmative action, that brings down everyone and everything. It brings down the entire system. It lowers the bar, not raises it. Makes things worse, not better. But anyway, Charlie Kirk is saying this one fire chief down in Texas is a DEI hire. And Roland Martin, he's pretty upset about this. Watch.
All right, folks, these white Republicans, these racist ones, Lord, they are trying all they can not to blame their own for the flooding along the Guadalupe River in Texas that led to nearly 100 folks dying, including a lot of young girls at a Christian camp. But the person who really is the case, for actually it's a couple of people, okay, it's that idiot Jack Probosiak. I can't pronounce that stupid idiot's name. But it's the racist Charlie Kirk. Now, Charlie Kirk, let me set this up. That boy ain't the brightest bulb in the dark room, okay? College dropout, but loves to question the intellect of black people. So what he's been doing is suggesting that Joel Baker, just show his photo, please. Joel Baker, who is the fire chief of the Austin Fire Department. He's been saying that, this DEI hire, it's his fault. It's his fault from blocking elite rescue teams to travel there. Now, the Austin Firefighters Association accuses the fire chief of, yes, blocking elite rescue teams in what they call an egregious dereliction of duty. The chief says that's some BS. So here is poor little small brain racist Charlie Kirk with his trash.
We are in a state of national mourning, as we should be. And the Democrats, they're so despicable. The Democrats are not lifting a finger to remember the well over 100 people that have died in Texas Hill Country. What you are not being told by the media anywhere is that the death toll likely would not have been as high if it wasn't for DEI. This Texas tragedy is just the latest example. It's not just incompetence. This is DEI working to undermine meritocratic institutions, and more people likely died than otherwise would have because of DEI. Let me prove it to you. In 2014, the Obama administration sued the Austin Fire Department, about 11 years ago, fire union, for supposed racial discrimination, resulting in a settlement. So the Obama administration was so worried that the fire department in Austin, Texas was racist, because, you know, when you're putting out fires, you got to make sure that you have a diverse fighting force. All jokes aside, well, the pressure was on the city to prove its diversity credentials. So a few years later, they picked Joel Baker as their first black fire chief. He announced right away that promoting diversity is one of his top priorities. They brought him in from Atlanta, and his priority was not putting out fires or being prepared for floods. No, his priority was to make sure that the fire department was blacker. Play cut 347.
This two-time fire chief wants to make a difference in the growing city of Austin and tells us he wants to start by bringing in more diversity.
It's important that the Austin Fire Department, as much as we can, reflect the community which we serve.
But when you hire people based on race, you're not hiring based on skill. So right now, Baker is facing a vote of no confidence.
So let's go right there. See, this is the game that racist, ignorant white people like Charlie Kirk, this is the game that they play. They love to go, oh, no, it's racist and how he was hired. And it was, this is just wrong, and it's unfair. Look at this, unqualified. Really, that's interesting. Because you heard the reporter there say, two-time fire chief. Here, we go to my iPad. So you pull up, this is just the AI overview. Let's see here. Served more than 30 years as a firefighter in the Atlanta area, including the fire chief with the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department. Began with East Point Fire Department in 1986. Has held various positions, including lieutenant, field operations and training academy, captain, hazardous material technical rescue unit, deputy fire chief, airport operations, assistant fire chief, office of support services. Spent time in the Marines, also 10 years in the Navy Reserve. Really? See, they love to ignore your resume. All right, you got it because you're black. No, it's called you got skills. But see, when you're ignorant like Charlie Kirk, when you drop out of college, and then you have a white conservative benefactor who funds your group called Turning Point USA, and you get to run around as one of Trump's bros, talking about masculinity, and you're talking to your other little racist minions, because Turning Point USA has had serious problems with racists in their organization. But see, he gets covered by...
Did anyone notice, man, how quick he cut the video? He cut Charlie Kirk off. Man, Charlie Kirk is saying, hey, look, this guy was hired as a DEI hire to make things more diverse. He was hired with that goal in mind. And he was. And again, you heard it out of the guy's mouth. He wants to hire more black and brown people, more people of color, to be more reflective of the communities in which they serve. And again, man, it wouldn't matter if 100% of firefighters are white. That you hire based on qualifications. And again, man, in this country, the vast majority of firefighters are white. I mean, by far. But again, it's a white man's kind of job in a way. And again, it's not set up that way, but it just became that way because, again, white people, they went and that's the jobs that they wanted. That's the jobs their fathers did, their grandfathers did. And, again, they went to follow in their footsteps. And again, man, but what Roland Martin is saying is, we need to hire firefighters based on race first. And that's what the chief is saying too, based on that. That should be the first qualification. That's your person of color. And no, it shouldn't be. Again, you don't hire firemen or cops or anyone based on their skin color first, because again, the communities that they serve have more black or brown or whatever people. No, you don't do that. I mean, could you imagine that being said the other way around? Of course not. Of course not. But again, that's the way they want things to be. And that right there is the real racism. If you even want to say racism, the real racism is saying that, we have to have more black and brown people because of the communities that they serve. We need to have people that are qualified. And if they happen to be black, that's fine. That's great. But if they happen to be white, that's fine and that's great. The fact of the matter is we need to hire the most qualified people to do those jobs. And that is what Charlie Kirk is saying.
I could very easily ignore the idiot Charlie Kirk. But you got to understand something. Donald Trump loves him some Charlie Kirk. And white people like Charlie Kirk are the ones who love to talk about merit, meritocracy, fairness, justice for all. Yet they never ever seem to bring up the race of white men when something happens bad. And people like Charlie Kirk, they actually speak for the party because the party employs them. The party uses them. The party champions them. These are the people who they love. Republicans love to say, you're a race baiter. Talk about race too much. But they always are fixated with DEI hire. I see the Kirks of the world and Ericksons, they love to call Ketanji Brown Jackson, Supreme Court Justice, stupid and dumb and all of this here. They literally couldn't even have an elementary legal conversation with her. Because for them, she was chosen because she's a black woman. Never mind, in American history, she's the 116th Supreme Court Justice. And let's see. Who were the women before her? Sandra Day O'Connor, Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Amy Coney Barrett, Ketanji Brown Jackson. So 116 Supreme Court justices in a history where say only 6 women were qualified. Yeah, we know that's bullshit.
Number one, guys, man, everything should be based on merit. It should be. Charlie Kirk is definitely 100% right on that. And again, we have to remember the reason why historically there has been so many white men in power is because it's a white country. It was founded and built by white men. I mean, I'm sorry. If it ticks you off, who in the hell cares? But, I mean, again, even 50, 60 years ago, it was like 85, 90% white in this country. Again, it's a white country. And women couldn't even vote until 100 years ago. So again, we have to understand that too. Now, I'm not saying that women should not have been allowed to vote. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that women couldn't even vote until 100 years ago. So again, we have to remember that too. So when it comes to how many women, and I think Roland said 6, that have been on the Supreme Court, yeah, it's going to be small. Of course. And people of color, it's going to be small. And we had to understand that. But again, what we did was we purposely got away from putting our thumb on the scale. Again, we could hire anyone, white men, black women, white women, everyone. And that's what we did. I thought that's what we were trying to do. But now, what they're doing is trying to put their thumb back on that scale and hire more black people, more brown people, more women, more whatever, just to equal things out. And again, that is artificial. And you don't do that. You make things open and you leave it the hell alone. And that is really what people have got to understand. And people like Roland Martin, they don't get it. They're like, well, we got to have more black people. So what do you think we should do? Well, hire so many black people, had DEI programs, had this, had that. And no, that is wrong. That is not going to work. That is discrimination. And the reason why people like Miss Jackson, the Supreme Court judge, again, the reason why so many people from the right did not like her, I mean, again, there's numerous reasons, but one of the reasons I myself did not like her is she could not answer or would not answer, really, what a woman is. She wouldn't answer that. Now, she knows damn well what a woman is, but she's not going to answer that. Why? Because she's too afraid. She's too afraid to piss somebody off, to piss somebody from the left off. So again, she's not going to answer that question. And that is what concerns me. That nowadays people, they are so, just bogged down by this rhetoric that they won't answer things they know to be true. They won't say it. They won't do it. Because again, they're too afraid of pissing somebody off. Like black people. White people aren't your problem. They're not your problem. Everything is open. Everything is fair. Now, if you want something, go after it. And the proof that you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve is because there are black people in every place in life in this country, including the president, back for Obama. So again, we do have to understand that, and people have got to be willing to say that. People have also got to be willing to say, hey, look, a boy can never be a girl, and a girl can never be a boy. I mean, again, you can change the appearance somewhat. You can, give somebody hormones or whatever, but again, you can't change what somebody is. You can't. If you guys would, please leave a comment down below, like, and subscribe.